I think Mandarin is actually becoming much more popular in Southeast Asia in general. A lot of yeah. Today we are here with Holly.
Yes.
Holly, you're from Indonesia.
Yes, I am.
Well, you're Chinese Indonesian.
I am.
What does that mean?
Okay, so a majority of Indonesians are native, like probably 90% of them are native, but a lot of Chinese immigrants also came in sometime during the war, and so my great-grandparents came here. And so I'm the fourth generation of a Chinese Indonesian living in Indonesia. Yeah.
But you're now studying here in Beijing. And why did you come to Beijing? Is that because you want to reconnect your roots to your
That's what
Chinese...
I say. That's what my mom and my grandma wanted me to do. Because, as a fourth generation Chinese Indonesian, we don't really speak Chinese anymore, especially with like the history of what happened. So I never grew up speaking Mandarin, but we did learn it in school, although that also didn't work out too well. Learning a second language in school never really works out. So they wanted me to come here and learn Chinese, and they kept on saying like, oh, if you want to study business, China is the future, things like that. So that's why I came here.
Are you doing business because your parents are business people as well?
I think that is definitely a part of it. Like that definitely influenced.
So you're from a business background?
Yes. Cool. I think most Chinese Indonesians are.
Really?
Yeah, we prefer working for ourselves and not for other people. I've noticed that.
Yeah, you're the boss.
Exactly. In charge. We like being in charge.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you for the most part. So tell me about your experiences as an international student in China.
Okay.
For me, that's like a surreal. Firstly, I don't encounter many students, and then when I do, it's just like wow, it's such a gap. Normally, a lot of Chinese students go to UK or America to study as international students, and if you're growing up in these kind of countries, it's hard to imagine so many international students coming to China. But I think nowadays, China's definitely becoming more popular for studying. So, what is it like studying as an intern? Are there loads of other international students in your university?
I would say in my university, a lot of the students are international. There is like a bit of imbalance. Most international students are Asian, like from countries like Indonesia or Malaysia. I've seen a lot of Thai students as well, but we do have like a few European students. I think because my school offers 2 languages, English and Chinese, it opens up more opportunities for people to come. Some students can only speak English, while others have already prepared by studying Chinese beforehand. Or, for example, the Malaysians, they speak Chinese very, very fluently, so they don't even need to prepare. I feel like compared to European universities, for example, Asian universities tend to be more similar in the way they teach, saying it's more lecture-based. We kind of just sit there and listen to what the teachers say. We just sit down in class, listen to the teacher, and that's like kind of it.
In big lecture halls.
Yeah, exactly. Even if in smaller classrooms, we don't really talk to the professor.
So courses are in English and Chinese?
Yeah.
Do international students have options to take a whole course in China in English?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I came here with nearly 0 Chinese knowledge, and a lot of others also do. So in my university, we are offered Chinese courses as well. So I personally have Chinese classes 4 times a week. So every semester we move up a level, and by the time we graduate, we're supposed to be able to pass HSK 4, which is usually the minimum requirement for jobs. So I think they're setting us up pretty well.
Have you learnt a lot of Chinese while you're here because of those classes?
I would say yes. Yeah. Not. I think I need to put myself out there and actually make Chinese friends to be able to speak naturally and fluently, but I definitely have learned quite a bit from the classes as well. Like, I noticed that I could read more signs when I go out, and I can, do short little conversations with the DD driver.
Have you made local Chinese friends? Because I think from the people I talk to, foreigners, there is a bit of a distance, and a lot of people find it difficult to make really close local friends. I think mainly it's due to language barrier.
I agree.
But maybe there are other factors to it.
I think, you know what, I think the Chinese students, they're also really eager to make international friends. But I think both parties kind of find it difficult to approach one another.
But say if you make friends, can you actually sit down and have a drink and have long conversations? Is that the difficult part?
I would like to do that, but personally, I haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah.
But I definitely know that some of my other friends who are more outgoing, they definitely do have like Chinese friends that they're relatively close to. But since we don't have any classes with them, we don't take any classes together, so it's a little bit difficult to find the time to meet up, especially since as international students, they actually cut a lot of slack for us. So we have a lot more free time compared to the Chinese students who have classes nearly from 8 a.m. to 6 or 8 p.m. So they're a lot busier than we are.
So that seems a bit unfair,
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
But you'll get the same degree, basically.
Actually, my university is a language university, so almost all of the Chinese students studying there are studying a language, either English or German. They offer lots of languages, but I'm studying business, and not a lot of Chinese students come to my school to study business, so I'm not sure.
How about the life outside of campus, like the nightlife?
It's very interesting. So back home, Indonesia is a Muslim majority country, so we don't really do things like clubs and alcohol. I mean, there certainly are in certain places, but coming to China was kind of a shock seeing how lively the nightlife is. And it's really fun. I think especially as a university student, when everyone wants to put themselves out there, have fun with one another. So it's really, really interesting and fun when people just invite each other to go to the club or to go KTV the entire night. I'm not that much of a nightlife person, but when I'm invited, it's fun. I really enjoy it. It's very lively.
I think I've noticed KTV is a big thing here.
It is.
Even
it's
I've
really
fallen in love with KTV. There's something so enjoyable of singing
your heart out
without even caring about
I agree.
Whoever's listening. Normally you do KTV while drinking. Do you not drink while doing KTV?
So I've only been to the KTV like twice since coming here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a homebody. I don't really go out. I like going out, but usually not at night. But my friends were drinking and it looked fun.
Personally, I was shocked at how lively China is.
I agree. I was too.
I've never had such a late night until I came here. Yeah, it just goes on and on until the following morning.
Yeah.
You see the sunlight and even have breakfast. And,
yeah. You know what? Since my dorm, almost all the students live in a dorm because Beijing prices are quite hard, rent prices. And so my dorm has a curfew, which starts at midnight and ends at 6 a.m. So the doors are locked during that time. So a lot of people, they stay out all night and then they have breakfast too before coming back, and then at 6 a.m. they return to their rooms and then sleep.
So your accommodation is just locked between 12 and 6?
It is locked. So if you come in late, we're written up. And we have a maximum of like 3 late returns in a semester.
Wow.
Kind of strict in China.
That's strict.
Yeah.
And does that apply to both foreign students and local students?
So I heard that it used to only apply to Chinese students, but they complained saying that it was unfair.
Yeah.
So it was applied to international students as well, I think, like starting from a few years back. Mm-hmm.
Have you explored much of Beijing and China outside of Beijing too?
Oh, okay. So I do try to explore the city.
Mm-hmm.
It's very convenient with the subway system, so you can just take one and then go pretty much anywhere in the city. But outside of the city, it's a bit more difficult to find time and money. But a lot of students, they do go to different cities during the holidays, especially. I've seen during the National Day holiday, especially when there's a break, they go to Shanghai, they go to Chengdu, they go to many different cities in China, and I hope to do that too soon.
So you haven't visited other cities yet?
I have. So I've only visited Tianjin because it's very, very nearby Beijing. And with my school, we went on a trip to Shanxi. And the two cities we visited were Datong and Pingyao. They're both very historical cities, very nice.
I haven't been to Datong, but people say to go. I personally recommend you to visit Chengdu, Shanghai, and maybe Xi'an as well.
Oh, definitely. That's a must visit, right, in China.
Yeah. In your course, do you have a lot of things to write and, assignments? Because I remember as a student, there's just so much to do in terms of deadlines. But I'm wondering how hard or how easy it is as a foreign student to study here.
Okay, so once again, because I study with basically all international students, they are far more lenient compared to if you were to study with the Chinese students. I've seen that there were a lot more courseworks to accomplish, but for us, the main ones are just presentations once in a while and the midterms and finals. And some teachers give homework and some others don't really, so it depends on the teacher.
But homework's obviously not counted in the overall overall.
It is.
Oh, is it?
If they give you homework, then it most likely would be counted.
Really?
But a big part of our grades here are actually our attendance.
Is it not
15-20%
essays?
for
No?
attendance. Essays? Some teachers give exams and others assign a report. So it, once again, goes back to the teacher. Depends on what kind of assessment method they want to use.
Do you have more practical stuff that you do as in your course because you're doing business management?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with like universities in Asia. We kind of just learn the theories and you don't really do much practical work. I would enjoy that, I think. I think that would be really interesting to learn more. But most of our coursework is theoretical. Like we just learn about the business concepts.
How do you apply to study in China?
Okay. So a lot of the fellow Indonesians that go to my uni, they were all introduced by like a Chinese education agency back home. And I noticed that almost all of them apply through that agency, and so they come all together and the process is, I guess, easier.
So you don't do much?
Yeah.
But surely you need to do some exams or...
Yes, like before we enter, there are exams. And actually, I did learn about this school from that agency as well, but I decided to apply on my own. So you just have to, go to their website and then fill in applications and forms and things like that. It isn't too hard, I would say. So it's definitely doable to apply on your own as well.
Did you have to put in your high school transcript or something?
Yeah, that definitely. I think that's a requirement for all universities. So I just have it prepared in my computer, and whenever I need to apply, I have it right there.
So you have a transcript?
Yes, high school transcript.
And your high school, you did IB?
Yes, right? I did IB.
So IB, for anyone who doesn't know, is the International Baccalaureate.
Yes.
It's the international school standard for graduating high school, just like A-level or AP.
Yeah, it's interesting curriculum.
Yeah. So you did IB in Indonesia.
Yes,
And
I
you
did.
used IB to come study in China.
Mm-hmm.
That seems wild to me because most people use IB to go to
European countries.
for European or American
Yes.
countries. But you used it in China, and is it recognized in Beijing?
I think it was just helpful for me because in IB we study in English. We use English as our main language to learn. I didn't have to do an IELTS exam like everyone else did. But a lot of the students in my school actually did go to places that acknowledged IB. So it's definitely useful. A lot of students that take IB do take it to go to countries like Australia, Netherlands, somewhere in Europe, or, you know.
But there wasn't a specific requirement in China for IB.
No, definitely not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you failed IB? People do say for international students to study in China is much easier to in the admissions process.
Yes.
Do you think if someone failed IB, they could actually still study at a very good university in Beijing?
I think at a very good university like Tsinghua or Beida, maybe not. But in any other university, I think they would be able to.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Because I think in China, diversity is a selling point. So the more international students they're able to attract, the better it would look for the university. So yes, the requirements are much lower for international students.
So if China's trying to grow this international student program, how's the tuition fee for an international student?
So a lot of students actually apply for the Chinese government scholarship. It's really good because it covers the tuition, accommodation, and you also get an allowance. I think
Living expenses.
Yes. So for undergraduate students, it's 2,500 per month, and for master's students, it's 3,000 if I'm not wrong. I actually missed the application deadline, so I didn't get to apply. But the university did give me like a tuition scholarship for a year. And then this year I had to apply again for the Beijing government scholarship. So there are lots of scholarships that help you with tuition and also sometimes living cost if you apply.
Is it really widely given?
I think it definitely was in the past. I heard starting from this year it got a bit more difficult, but I think as long as you try, I think it's definitely doable.
I think it's quite rare for a UK university, for example, to give a full scholarship to a international student. But I have seen it before, especially in specialized schools, performing arts schools. Very talented.
They have to be extremely brilliant to get those scholarships, right?
Yeah.
Here,
it's not
the requirements are not that high.
Do you think with your degree, if you take that back to Indonesia, is it recognized as a good degree, equally good as a local degree?
I would say it depends on what school in Indonesia, what university. But in general, yes, and maybe even better. Because a lot of Chinese companies are starting to invest in Indonesia. They're opening up companies there. So they really want students who are able to speak both Indonesian and Chinese as kind of like a bridge between the two countries. So they're definitely highly sought after. So I need to work hard on my Chinese.
So in Indonesia, is learning Chinese, learning Mandarin, is that a growing thing? Is it
I think so. I think it definitely is. I've noticed a trend of more Indonesians coming to China. I feel like in the past, maybe mostly the Chinese Indonesians would, but now a lot of native Indonesians as well have come here to learn the language and then either work in a company here or go back home to Indonesia and then work in a Chinese company.
I think Mandarin is actually becoming much more popular in Southeast Asia in general. I've met a lot of Vietnamese people speaking Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
You must have encountered a lot of Southeast Asian students in China.
Yes, especially in my dorm.
Yeah.
Because there are also a lot of students not only studying business. I live in an international students dorm, so there are students studying the Chinese language program or mostly the Chinese language program, but there are some studying other languages as well. And so I noticed that there are a large number of international students who are very, very good at speaking Chinese. Like they're almost fluent. So it's very impressive.
From Southeast Asian countries.
Mm-hmm.
How about from Korea, Japan, those kind of countries?
Oh, yes, lots of Koreans, lots
Really?
of Japanese students. I've noticed that most of the Japanese students actually take the Chinese taught courses.
So they are advanced Chinese speakers.
Yeah. I think because the languages are, you could say that it's somewhat similar. They can still read the Chinese characters, so it's easier for them to keep up with the classes compared to other international students who speak their own mother tongue and their languages are very different. They're not similar at all to Chinese.
So you grew up in Indonesia.
Yes, I did.
And you did IB. So obviously you went to an international school where everything is taught in Indonesia in English. Did you ever go to a public Indonesian school?
So in middle school, I went to a private Christian school, but they taught using the national curriculum. So those 3 years was the only time period where I learned mostly in Indonesian.
But primary school and high school
Yes.
was in international schools.
Yes.
So it's basically like you're cut off from the local education system, right?
I wouldn't say completely cut off, but somewhat. It's different. Our curriculums are very different.
You're doing a different system of graduating from high school. Growing up in Indonesia, obviously you're ethnically Chinese. Are you fully Chinese?
Yes.
But in schools, your friends, were they Chinese? What was the ratio like?
The
between-
ratio was probably like maybe 20% Chinese, and then the rest were native Indonesians. Because I lived in an area where there weren't that many Chinese families. There are certain locations where the Chinese Indonesians tend to live, and I wasn't living in that area, so the students in my school were mostly Indonesian.
You were a minority.
We are a minority, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't feel like it sometimes because we're in Jakarta, and Jakarta is one of the cities with a lot of Chinese Indonesians, but in other areas, you don't really see them much.
In schools, though, did you ever have discrimination or any kind of interesting experiences because you're different? You look kind of different, I guess.
No.
Oh, really?
I
That's
think
really
because
good.
because I went to school that taught with an international curriculum, it already tends to be more diverse. Like most of our teachers were actually Filipinos, so you don't really see discrimination. But I heard in public schools there could be, especially in the past. Yeah.
Now that you came to China as an Indonesian and you're in university, you're about to graduate in a few years, do you expect yourself to be staying here, or do you want to go back to Indonesia to live?
I think I've always wanted to go abroad, so I might stay here for a few years, especially since I'm already studying here, and it's probably easier to transition to the job market, and there are more beneficial opportunities compared to going back home. So I think I would like to stay.
You're
And
not a patriot who wants to go and sort out.
No,
problems back
no, I do not. No, I've noticed that whenever there's actually an honest person who tries to help fix the country, they end up in jail instead, or just kicked out. So
It's life and human nature. Would you be wanting to live in Beijing?
Actually, since I am staying here for 4 years and China's such a big country, I would like to try living in a different place. Probably down south, I think would be really fun. Like Guangzhou is a big city for business, and Shanghai, Shenzhen as well. So probably one of those.
What's wrong with Beijing?
Beijing is fun. It's a good city, but I would say it's more cultural and it's like the political center. I wouldn't say it's the biggest business city in China. So I feel like to find more opportunities, a lot of internationals, they tend to go to Shanghai or Guangzhou.
Shanghai is odd to me. It's just like London. The architecture is European. You know, everyone's
true.
speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, wow, this is not the China I imagined. Beijing is completely Chinese. You know, everything you see is Chinese. Not many people speak English.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised. I thought more people would be able to speak English, but they don't. And that's kind of what forces us to learn Chinese, right? When we go out there and then we have to communicate.
Yeah. Well, so if you stay in China, do you expect yourself to be experiencing your whole career here? Or you just don't know?
Probably not. I can't really see myself like staying here more than 5 years after graduating, but I'll see where life takes me because I do prefer quieter cities and China is a hustle and a bustle, so probably somewhere else.
If you had a job opportunity back home in Indonesia, would you think twice about it or would you just take it?
I would probably consider it. I would consider because quite frankly I prefer living here. So unless the job pays really well or has great benefits, I probably wouldn't go back.
Well, maybe you'll find yourself in different countries. I mean, from experience, one morning you wake up and you're in Beijing.
Personal experience.
Personal experience. And one moment I'll be in a different country maybe. But I think you're so young, you have so many opportunities and you have so many surprises waiting for you, I think.
Yeah, you never know what life will bring towards you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure.
What's thank you in Indonesian?
It's terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.